stand on, doesn't give you that opportunity to offer what you want to offer. For crying out loud, you move to a better platform. He was there, and there's no denying the fact that he was a member of that, and there's no crime in being a member of the PDP or any other party. But the thing there was that there was just no internal democracy there. That was one of them, and he wasn't the only one who left. There were one or two cases of others who left, who also went ahead to win the elections. I mean, you should know I'm talking about. I can make reference to one of them,
Yeah.
Abaribe himself, and so on. So they were personalities that these men were where they were, and they knew they had a lot to offer, but they didn't just get the opportunity to offer what they wanted to offer, so they had to look for somewhere better, and that was where we did a search, and well, the rest they say is history. We're in the YPP now, and looking at everything, sometimes when we look back at the whole thing, we just look at it and we're like, this was just divine because this platform has, the YPP, the Young Progressives Party, has afforded us the opportunity to actually get to reach out to people we wouldn't ordinarily have reached if he remained where he was. And we've been able to feel the pulse of the people in such a way we would never have probably felt the pulse of the people before. So that is exactly where we are now, and we are being celebrated. Abians are yearning for a change, and looking back with the benefit of hindsight, I think it was good riddance to bad rubbish that we had to leave there because I'm not here to actually campaign for others, but I think it was better because if you go feel the pulse of Abians now, what is really talking about that party again? Abians don't want that anymore. Yeah, no, Abians need a change. Abians are yearning for a change. There are parties you got there mentioned. Abians will say, hey, we don't want to hear this. We've had enough. We need something different this time around. So that's where we are now. That's why we are where we are today.
Your principal has, always put forth the mantra rebuilding Abia, right?
Yes.
And who better to rebuild Abia than an engineer? Now, there's this word out there that some of the projects he had embarked upon for the state government have failed. A lot of references have been made to certain roads to which, his construction company had executed on behalf of the state government. Now, if he's been painted in the light of being incapable, does I just suppose that with his mantra of wanting to rebuild Abia, are we going to be having failed projects?
Well, I want to say this very clearly, TC. We've answered this question over. As a matter of fact, he has come on air to answer this question over and over. He has come up because at a point, people, of course, opponents dig up all manner of stuff.
Yeah. There was a time of certain pictures of him, old pictures were trending.
We countered that. We have our social media page. All you just need to do is to go on Facebook or any social media platform. We have pictures of all this. We countered some of these allegations with pictures. And let's look at this. Let's be very frank. This is the heat of the political season. You hear all manner of things. You hear people throw all manner of dirt at you. But he has come out to deny this several times. And as a matter of fact, we want to campaign differently. We want to campaign based on issues. The way we're campaigning in the YPP, in the Young Progressives Party, we're not campaigning based on calumny. We're not running a campaign of calumny. We tell people, come up with issues. We've denied this on several occasions. He has refuted them. And
so are you saying he didn't construct the Umujima Road?
Have you been to Umujima lately?
No.
Oh God, no. You have to visit Umujima lately because oftentimes we tell people when you hear these things, go get first-hand account. It's not just like hearing these things. These are periods, all manner of things are flying out there. There's no such thing. And we also say to people, on this aspect, I'm not here to trade words with people or anything. Go. The records and the Ministry of Works.
So what are you saying about Umujima Road?
Umujima Road is in perfect state. I apply Umujima Road on a daily basis. I don't know where these things come from, honestly. I sometimes when you hear these things, but when you say you don't know where they come from, we actually know who. Well, on the other hand, we know these things actually come from political opponents.
The continuous insistence that he has made his money from the state government.
This is the most outrageous allegation I've ever heard. This young man was already made before he. And which state government? Did he even work with the state government?
The projects that he was doing.
His projects, the facts remain. They're all there. We've always said to people, go to our social media handles, go on Facebook. We've denied this. We have evidence of all these. We've counted all this.
You're asking me to go to your social media.
I'm also saying too that people are free to go to the Ministry of Works where they could get better details. It's not about just coming up on air. They can go verify the Ministry of Works.
And one of the reasons for having you is for you to be able to, set this the record straight.
Which is exactly what I'm doing here, TC.
Yeah, you're referring me to.
I'm referring because I asked you now. I asked you about the Moji Mero. You say you haven't been there. And I'm like, no, no, no. Some of these things are fact. I'm giving you evidence. I'm pointing you to facts where you could go verify for yourself. If you can verify physically, or if you need further facts from the Ministry of Works on our social media and our website, you could go get information there easily. So these things are allegations, and I mean, they don't fly, and I'm not ready to be here to join issues with people.
All right. The very recent development where a lot of young people have taken to the Labour Party, and of course, it's I just think about it, and it's funny. I mean, to me, the full meaning of the YPP is the Young Progressive Party. Traditionally, or well, originally, that party should have had more young people align itself with it just because of its name. And the fact that they had uh, some of the youngest candidates in the Chief Engineer Nwafor and Chima Anya, so there was that. I'll give it to the YPP. There was that palpable tension among some party, I mean, bigwigs in the state, that this could be where the tide could shift to. But then, with the last few months coming into play, the labor movement, the Obi Dati wave, and all that, uh, there's been a move of some sort where people are voting for Labour Party across board, not minding the candidates who are on the ballot. I mean, it's just the party they're going for because of a particular person or group of persons' influence. Do you think that that's how it's going to play out?
I don't think
in the
so.
governorship elections?
I don't really think so. There's something about the Nigerian psyche in elections, in voting. Sometimes you find out that Nigerians can come together to vote a particular individual during the presidentials. Whenever it comes down to the gubernatorial elections, they vote differently. It's happened. It's happened on different occasions. It happened during the Jonathan period. It happened during different occasions. People come up. Yes, there was this wave, this tidal wave, where people said tended to vote in a particular direction for a particular candidate. We all know Nigerians were fed up, and both the young, the old, everybody voted in a particular direction during the presidential elections. But here, TC, the gubernatorial elections is a completely different piece of cake now. I can be bold I can make bold here clearly to you that Nigerians, especially Abians, are going to vote differently during the gubernatorial elections, because you see, I started off this program by telling you here and saying to Abians that Abians are actually tired. We're tired of the same brigade, and this time we need young blood. We need fresh blood. We need people with ideas, creativity, and this is where Engineer Chima Nwafor comes in here. Because this is someone who is passionate about the Abia project.
What is his focus?
His focus is restoring the dignity of the Abian citizen. He's always talked about restoring the dignity of the Abia citizen. And that's why our campaign is based on restoration. We've lost so much. Even if we go to scriptures, in Joel 2, the Bible scripture talks about the years which the locust, the palmer worm, the cankerworm, and the caterpillar has eaten. There's been so much destroyed in Abia State. And he's passionate about restoring. He wants the Abia man, the Abia woman, the Abia young man, the Abia young lady, the boy, the girl, to stand boldly anywhere and be proud of being an Abia citizen.
Okay, let me give you an example. When Victor Bazu was coming on board, he had mentioned that he wanted to focus on infrastructure, the kinetic revolution, the tractor movement, inward roads, connecting roads. That was his focus. And then at some point, he started talking about exporting made in Aba products. That was a second focus. So many people who were running for governors, some candidates have talked about how they want to clear salaries, in the next 7 months, in the next 8 months. There are certain things that they have outlined they would want to do even within the first 100 days of office. For your principle, for Chief Enyinnaya Nwafor, is there that kind of plan as to what he plans to do for Abia people? I mean, immediately, short term?
Yeah, he has plans. These other people you mentioned, actually, you see, it brings me back to what I've always been talking about. Abians are tired of promises. They're tired of hearing people come on air say all manner of things, but they know the truth. They know they wear the shoes, they know where it pinches. And so some people have taken Abians on a ride for a long time, and that's why Abians are finding it difficult to actually trust anyone who comes out now to speak. But my principle, just like I told you, we're not just blowing our trumpets. This is a young man with results. He's result oriented. His results are there to speak. He has all his businesses in Abia State. So it's not about him coming out to promise or make promises about things he can't fulfill. Like I told you, his major preoccupation, first of all, is to restore the dignity of the Abian citizen, that the Abian citizen stands tall everywhere. And of
Do you
course,
think we have a deficit in that area?
oh my goodness. TC, I'm one of those, TC, you should know because you're a down to earth person. I know you outside. I'm coming. You know full well there are things we don't just need to come out here and state on air because everyone.
You know how that
The Abian's dignity has been raped. Honestly, we don't have any dignity anywhere. I travel sometimes. I take time to even travel in public transport. A lot of people don't do that. I take time to travel in public transport. You need to mention you're from Abia State anywhere and see the backlog of attacks you're going to get. Mockery. You're just going to be mocked. Our state has become the laughing stock everywhere. And look, we need help. We need a way out of this. And this is why my principal is coming out for this. He's made himself available. He's volunteered himself to come out to restore the dignity of the Abia citizen. And he has various ways he has lined up to achieve this. And definitely this is someone that in the first 100 days of his administration, we're actually going to see things happen. Abia is actually going to work. Abia can work. The problem we have is that we have the wrong people in the right positions. That's just it.
Okay. I have one. I wouldn't want. I wanted to go all sarcastic with you, but then let me.
No, bring it on.
Let me accommodate this way, right? Your principal was unable to deliver some of the party's candidates in Osisioma.
Well, we can't outrightly say he hasn't. There's some cases that are pending. Some cases are still going to go to court. So we have some places that elections were inconclusive. We have places where elections were inconclusive.
Do you realize that the Independent National Electoral Commission has declared certain persons winners?
In the Nigerian setting, INEC can declare winners, but we have our cases. We're looking at some of the results and we're going to take appropriate actions. We can't just sit on air and conclude. No.
So what you're saying is that some of the Labour candidates who won indulged in malpractice?
I never said that. INEC released results. We're processing everything and we're going to take the right actions in due season. You hear from us.
So is that what your principal is going to do if he doesn't get to win the elections on the 11th of March?
TC. Anyway, you said you were coming sarcastic, so I'm ready for anything. We're not yet there. Let's get to the 11th of March, first of all. Let's just get there. Let's get there, first of all, and then we'll know where we go from there. For right now, this moment, we're so positive and we're so upbeat about our chances on the 11th of March.
People have described your principal as someone who's not very accessible, right? The just concluded round of debate, it was actually very difficult to get him to, take part in the media parleys that were organized across board by various platforms.
Are you kidding me? As a matter of fact, there's something about life. Sometimes when you don't know someone, it's possible for you to draw conclusions from a distance. When I hear these things, I wonder who exactly are they talking about? This is someone that, as a matter of fact, at a point, some engagements, we even need to come in and tell him, look, calm down. Just calm down in this particular, because he wants to engage. Everywhere he hears an engagement, I've been with him on different occasions. He just had one lately. He practically looks for a way to engage. He looks for every opportunity to engage people. So when people come up like this and talk about him this way, I wonder if we're talking about the same person here. TC, I'm not actually saying this because he is my principal. Nada. I'm saying this because I know him very well. Enyinnaya Chima Nwafor is actually looking for a way to engage with the Abians. He's not just trying to engage because he wants to win an election. He loves these people. He's passionate about Abians. He's passionate about his people. He wants to talk to them. He wants to engage with them. So please, wherever, I want to believe that's an insinuation because wherever it's coming from, that's not.
I've got my ears on, on ground. I have my eyes on social media.
You're now dealing with someone who is actually with him all the while. So hear from me directly.
And so that impression, I hear that you have an event coming up tomorrow, right? A concert of some sort. And some persons have, of the opinion that we're going to have a government of jamboree, owing to the fact that the lineup of people who have been invited or confirmed will make an appearance at that event are entertainment personalities, probably strategically done to attract more the younger population. But then the older guard will believe that all of those charades point towards the fact that, if he eventually gets into power and forms a government, it's going to be a jamboree.
Now, TC, this is just funny, honestly. Let's put the facts.
I'm saying these are the kind of attacks that come to your principal on a daily basis.
TC, no one stones fruits that are not ripe on a tree. You don't stone unripe fruits, you stone ripe fruits. So when all these things keep coming up, sometimes we just sit back, we look at these things, he looks at them, we all look at them together, we just laugh. Some of them we laugh them off. Listen, TC, we've actually been through a very grueling campaign season. It's been grueling, word-to-word campaigns. It's very much unlike what has obtained in the past, where people just go to local government by local government, climb on one platform, shout the party name, and so on. We were able to go from word to words. This is not easy. I'm trying to answer your question, TC. Now, we're rounding off everything. This is just a way of us rounding off a very grueling campaign season. And what we're doing, it's not just about, let me point out,
you keep saying grueling, like he's not cut out for the work.
TC, can I answer your questions?
Yes,
yes. Okay. So now, when I talk about grueling, I'm talking about grueling in the sense that it's been very demanding. It's not been easy. It's not the normal kind of campaigns you've had. He's very much equal to the task, if that's what you're asking. So, but the point I'm trying to make here is that now we've had a very demanding, okay, let me use a different word. Maybe you've heard the word grueling. We've had a very demanding campaign season. And because of this now, we're just trying to okay, we're not actually having a concert. What we're having is it's a march. It's a walk. We're walking. We're taking, our takeoff point is actually going to be at the Abia Tower tomorrow by 9 a.m. And we're calling on Abians to come join us. We're taking a march. It's just like a march through the city, okay? And some of these entertainers, there's nothing wrong with bringing entertainers to join us. Some of them are even Abia citizens there, okay? You have Rough Coin Wabia. But he's an Abian citizen, of course. So we have people coming in. We're just coming in to spice up the event. It's not just, and what's wrong with winding? Let's look at it from the other side. What's wrong with winding down sometimes? When it's just that we've had something, we're marching through and we're trying to add some flavor to the movement. It's actually a victory march. We're just it's a victory parade.
Really?
Yeah. We're being very positive about the whole thing.
For me, I think this is about the only strong statement that the Nana Fuji campaign will be making in Umuahia, owing to the fact that most of the campaigns have not been done in the city center. You've had, serious campaigns in Abia North, where Fuji is from. You've had more of these campaigns in Abia South, but it just seems like Abia Central.
We're setting the pace.
Isialangwa, Umuahia North. Not until very recently did your campaign office in Umuahia along Aba Road opened up completely or fully to activities. So if you are talking about preparations, have you really, campaigned to the people within the state capital?
First of all, I want to thank you very much for pointing to the fact that we're actually through this march, making a strong statement, because actually how many people have come to the city center here. So with this, it tells you how ready we are and how prepared we are for it. We're also the first in the word-to-word campaign stuff. I still come back to that. TC, it's been a very wonderful experience. I've been able to go to parts of Abia I never knew existed in the process of going on these word-to-word campaigns. Okay. And Abia, TC, it's not like I told you. I just said some moments ago, it's not like the usual campaigns where you go to local governments, climb on a platform, shout the name of the party, use hired crowds and everything. These are organic people, organic indigenes of communities who've gone to words, who've seen poverty at its height. So we're the first in it. We've been able to see there are places you don't know exist in Abia that are not connected to the national grid. There are places where there are arable lands wasting. There are places you see poverty. And we're the first in this. We've been able to go deep down into the heart of Abia. So we've been engaging with Abians. We've been engaging, not just simply because you've not seen us have maybe open parades like we're going to have tomorrow that'll make you think we've not engaged with people one on one. No, we've been engaging, even in the urban areas, even in the city centers. We've also been engaging too.
All right. I can only wish you good luck. I mean, you've said your principal is ready. The governorship elections are on the 11th of March. Likewise, the House of Assembly elections. There's a whole lot I could have, continued to throw at you. There were some clarifications I would have loved. But then, because of want of time, I mean, we just have to wind down now. And if possible, have you again sometime within the week.
I'll be so glad to.
Yes.
I'll be very much available and so glad to do that.
All right. So good luck with the match tomorrow, and please stay safe.
Please, once more, Abia citizens, you're very much invited to join us tomorrow at the Abia Tower at 9 a.m. It's going to be the takeoff point. We're going to march through this city. It's going to be a wonderful experience. Thank you so much, DC Barrett.
Dr. Kingsley Oji is the Deputy Director, Media Nana Ofuji campaign. We'll take a moment, and when we return, I'll be talking about the campaign that failed to happen today in the city of Umar, or well, we describe it as a match. Well, one match was happening tomorrow, but then one failed to happen today. And when we come back after the break, I'll be speaking about it right here on the program. This is The Standpoint. I'll be right back.